When we think about the largest snakes in the world, our minds often go to the ancient serpent that once roamed Colombia. It is, of course,
Oh my gosh, look at the
Titanoboa
size of
ceruginoensis,
that.
often considered the
Wow,
most
it's a real
fearsome and
dinosaur.
largest prehistoric snake to have ever lived, reaching lengths of up to 13 meters. Despite its massive body, Titanoboa was not as powerful as many people might imagine. Fossil evidence from a skull found in Cerugin, Colombia, suggests it was a fish eater, not a relentless predator of large mammals or crocodiles, as is often assumed. Its diet included creatures like lungfish and osteoglossomorphs. However, in 2024, the prevailing view of the world's largest snake began to change with the discovery of a new ancient snake fossil in India. This snake is none other than Vasuki indicus. In this video, we'll explore the life of this massive creature, how it lived in India, and what sets it apart from Titanoboa, which is now considered a weaker contender. Vasuki indicus is the largest ancient snake species discovered to date. Found in 2005, this serpent now holds the top spot for body size, with Titanoboa ceruginoensis relegated to second place. It measured an estimated 12 to 15 meters long, easily surpassing the largest Tyrannosaurus rex specimen, Su, which was only about 12 meters. Unlike Titanoboa, which is more closely related to modern boas, Vasuki indicus belongs to the Madtsoiidae family, an extinct group of ancient snakes. Members of this group mostly lived in the ancient supercontinent of Gondwana, which included South America, Africa, Antarctica, and India, the home of Vasuki indicus. At least 17 species of snakes from this group have been found so far. These snakes evolved earlier than the ancestors of Titanoboa, with the first species thought to have emerged around 98 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. However, our knowledge of the earliest members of this family is limited because the fossils found often consist of only a single bone, making detailed identification difficult. As a result, researchers haven't named them, and the only available information is that their fossils were discovered in Sudan, suggesting this group of ancient snakes likely first appeared in Africa before the end of the Cretaceous. By the end of the Cretaceous period, the Madtsoiidae group had already spread across a wide geographical area, with some species in Europe, Asia, and Australia. These snakes were incredibly diverse in size. Some, like Alamatosophis, were small, only about 0.8 meters long, while others, like Sanaja, could reach over 3.5 meters. Despite their size, most Madtsoiids were not apex predators in their ecosystems, as they coexisted with dinosaurs and even some giant pterosaurs. To survive, these snakes likely had an opportunistic diet, eating whatever they could, including baby dinosaurs. This is evidenced by a unique Sanaja fossil showing the snake coiled around a recently hatched baby titanosaur during the Cretaceous period. Snakes in this group tended to grow larger with each new genus that evolved. This growth trend reached a new high with the genus Madtsoiidae, which gave the group its name. Madtsoiidae itself was a giant snake from the Mesozoic era, living in both India and Madagascar during the late Cretaceous, with some specimens nearly rivaling the largest modern snakes in size. In India, Madtsoiidae fossils show that the snake could grow to around 5 meters, making it one of the largest ancient snakes known at the time. However, on the island of Madagascar, Madtsoiidae could grow even larger, with some specimens reaching lengths of 8 meters. At this size, Madtsoiidae was likely a threat to some of the smaller dinosaurs, which would have become prey for the adult snakes. One unique fact about Madtsoiidae is that they were among the few animals known to have survived the KPG extinction event that occurred 66 million years ago. Their survival has been linked to their terrestrial habitat, which allowed them to seek refuge in hard-to-reach places. Their extremely slow metabolism also enabled them to survive without food for up to a year. Around 10 million years after the end of the Cretaceous, Madtsoiidae successfully spread to South America, with their body size continuing to increase. With their immense size, many paleontologists believe Madtsoiidae was an apex predator that hunted various types of crocodilomorphs, mammals, and even xenarthrans like armadillos and sloths. Even though Madtsoiidae was one of the largest snakes known to science, it was not the largest member of the Madtsoiidae family. That distinction belongs to Vasuki indicus. The fossil of this immense serpent was first discovered by two Indian paleontologists, Sunil Bajpai and Debajit Dutta from the Indian Institute of Technology, back in 2005. It took until 2024 for the fossil to be officially described because of a significant initial error. Paleontologists first thought the fossil belonged to a large crocodilian, not an ancient snake. The Vasuki indicus fossil was found in the Penandro lignite mine in the state of Gujarat and consisted of 27 vertebrae, most of which were well preserved and still connected. The name Vasuki itself is inspired by Hindu mythology, taken from the mythical snake that coils around the neck of the god Shiva, while the word Indicus is Latin, referring to the country where the fossil was found, India. The habitat of Vasuki indicus is believed to have been a dense, muddy swamp, similar to the habitat of large modern snakes like pythons and anacondas. Here, the ancient snake acted as an apex predator, as it was the largest predator in its environment. If we look at the other ancient animal fossils found in the Naritti Formation where Vasuki indicus lived, we find the remains of other ancient animals like turtles, crocodiles, fish, and an ancient whale that has yet to be identified. Just like Titanoboa, Vasuki indicus was a constrictor, using its powerful muscles to suffocate its prey. Thanks to this similarity, they were initially thought to be part of the same subfamily of boas. However, the main difference that separates them is their more primitive skull structure, which was not as flexible or wide as a boa's skull. This has led paleontologists to believe that Madtsoiidae snakes couldn't swallow their prey whole, as Titanoboa did. So, is it true that Vasuki indicus was more brutal than Titanoboa? All ancient snakes in the Madtsoiidae group had a unique characteristic that made them more fearsome than Titanoboa. This unique feature lies in their strong jaw structure, which could be used to tear their prey into smaller pieces. This process likely involved a twisting motion of the body, similar to what eels do, which would have helped to rip flesh from the prey. The climate where Vasuki indicus lived was a warm, tropical environment with an average annual temperature of about 28 degrees Celsius. This temperature played a crucial role in the gigantism of the snake. In other words, the higher the environmental temperature, the higher the snake's internal temperature and metabolic rate, which allowed Vasuki indicus to grow to such a massive size. But this impressive creature did not survive forever and vanished from the face of the earth toward the end of Eocene. One of the reasons for the extinction of the world's largest snake may have been a decrease in global temperatures. Since Vasuki indicus was a cold-blooded animal, its massive size was no longer supported by a colder environment, and it could no longer survive in those conditions. This incredible find in India reshapes our understanding of ancient apex predators and the extreme sizes life could reach in Earth's deep past. The ongoing work of paleontologists around the globe continues to reveal these stunning secrets, bringing to light creatures far beyond our wildest imagination. Want to dive deeper into the world of prehistoric life? Subscribe to Paleo Insights on YouTube for more fascinating content, and join our community of enthusiasts.